Hello, everybody. Oh, we just ran into a bug. Sorry. BSW has these bugs sometimes where a game won't actually start. One of the many, many great features of this wonderful client. Alright, so we need to join and start the two-player game again. Now we got it this time. Okay, two-player Italy, this time with the most expensive possible map config. Bids the 4. Sure, I'll just pass and take the 6 in Italy, sure. I will gladly take the 6 at cost. 22 going under the deck, so that's kind of a big deal because this is a really expensive building map config here. The all-southern half of Italy, the boot, if you will. So I like to not build in the first turn with the 6 plant so that I can drop in the turn order. But I need to buy a trash to keep the opponent honest and make them only build 1. That way, if I build 1, they'll stay bottom in the turn order. And also, if they build 2, then I can build 1 and make money this turn. Perfect. Perfect. I get Foggia and Napoli. Okay, that's going to be a really good build for me. Yep, the no build. So this gives me, even though I don't make money in the first turn, I get a big advantage in resources for the second turn. So unfortunately, I can't buy a lot of extra resources this way. Sparablinda's the 5. That's an interesting play. It's a good play because since I have the 6, they'll stay below me in the turn order. This tells me that I should pass and go for the 9. Especially with 11 being in the game, the market's going to move even more slowly now with 11 in there. Thus, I should, in fact, bid on... I should go for the 9. The 9 is going to have more long-term value for me. And I definitely buy my 2 oil max that I can put on it. And it'll leave me with a couple bucks spare to make my starting build that I need. Foggia, I think, is the best single build on this particular map because it gives you a route both ways, as well as into the west and up north, north and south both through there. So I'm definitely winning the money battle here at this point. Even after not building on turn 1, I'll get an advantage on future turns with... Oh, there's Roma. Okay. Roma's a good build for my opponent. Because from there, they can take the rest of red and purple to the north. So I need Cosenza as my next city. Unfortunately, I won't be able to afford it on the next turn if I buy a plant. Well, I mean, 10 has to be put up for bid, though. Because of 11 being next in the market? Yeah, not good. It would cost me 31 to build. Which means I can just not... Like, I could not buy a plant and then just buy a trash. Although we'll have to see what my opponent does. This is worth another bid. Because of this market being so bad. Spara kind of needs this plant badly. I think I passed now, though. $16 came out, 14, 36. Yeah, so I just pass. I have exactly enough money to buy a trash and build this turn if I need to build. And my opponent's builds are all expensive as hell, so I expect them not to build, which means I can just go low in the turn order for next turn. Thus, no need for me to buy an extra trash. Or any extra resources, really. It would be an extra oil that I would consider buying, not extra trash. My opponent's in the same boat of expensive builds, so they can't afford to build this turn either. That's why I was willing to, like, the 10 might arguably be worth a little more there in that situation. Just buy a trash. Yep, don't think they can build, so I will just take my turn order advantage, and then I'll make sure to get Cosenza on the next turn. Because I'm going to make $33 this turn. So I'll be up to 64 in money. Then I would pay 31. Yeah, so I could buy the 11 next turn. Either that or let my opponent buy the 11, and I'll take the 13. $46 go under the deck now. $14 coming on. All right. Megastall, and now I will have... Wow, I can't believe Spara passed. I might have actually bought the 11 and just given up the 13 there, because now we're in an interesting position. Yeah. So let's do this, because now uranium's now at an okay price. Like, when uranium drops to 8, the cost of $8, that's when I'll consider buying the 11. Okay. So Cosenza is the city I need right now, of course. That's my gateway into to the brown region. So I can spend $33 53 minus 17 leaves me with 36. Yeah, I can do this. Sure. Definitely want to drive up oil, since Spara will want to build and run the 5 plant this turn with oil. And now in this situation, the 3 plant is going to get built off of the market. So 14 will come on, 16 will drop. But personally, if I build, I don't mind dropping 16 from my opponent here. I don't really mind dropping 16. I like having the 13 with the efficient plants that I have. Oh, God. Actually, it's kind of weird that I bought trash, considering I can't use all my plants this turn. But then again, trash will take another couple turns to reach $3, so I didn't... Oh, no, they get Barry. Okay, that's good. Although the problem is they could get Pescara next and really fence me in. This is tricky. A most tricky situation. Cosenza was still more important for me, though. 27 and 40 were the plants drawn. 36 going under the deck. Here's the deal. Do I actually give up the 13 here? The answer might be yes. Well, because I forgot to mark off 11 too, so yeah. We are almost assuredly going to drop the 16 to my opponent. And they get access to the cheap cities here, so... I think I'd rather drop the 16 for them this turn than risk dropping a bigger plant for them. Wait, no. If I'd pass, they take the 13, then we'll face the 16 with the 19 being next. Okay. I think my play is to pass here, actually. I normally don't pass the 13 in 2-player, especially not in expensive maps like this. But I feel like here it might be the right call. Pass, and the 17 comes in. All right. Well, this will be interesting now. There could be a little bit of a bidding war for... We'll see. We'll see if they try to play the turn order game with me here. Keep hitting oil, for sure. Ooh, yes. Give me Pescara. Yes, please. And now I'm in a good position to get the 16 because I have an extra oil stored, which will help a little bit for that. Very glad my opponent gave me that build. I needed Pescara so badly. But you see how expensive that your initial builds are in this map. It makes things really tricky. Ooh, yes, yes. 15, yes, please. Even though my opponent can buy coal before me and make it more painful for me, I'll still take this. Because they've been getting cheap coal for a while now, and I need to fight them on that. Ooh! We got ourselves a fight here. Yeah, I think 15 makes more sense for my opponent, and 16 makes more sense for me in this situation. My opponent will drive up the price of coal each turn if they run both the 15 and the 10 at the same time. And the 12 is in. Okay. Well, I'll. This raises a question. Do I want the 13? Ooh, buying a bunch of resources tells me they may not be able to make a big build. We'll see, though. Because I'm going to have to take Ancona if they leave it open for me here. Opponent doesn't have a lot of power to drive up oil, so I'm not going to be too worried about stocking extra. 38. Yeah, we can do this. God damn it. This is bad. It can do this, though. Definitely not running the 9 anymore since I have the 16. But I can make more money than my opponent on this turn. $35 out and 20 in. Didn't even see 35 get drawn. And now 23. This sure is like the slowest moving early market. Also, Spara did not even run the 5, so they can't buy extra oil. Oh, they're actually going to buy the 12. Interesting play. Okay, so they're going to really hammer my oil now. Okay. Sure. What we can do here is build... I can build the 8 off the market on this turn, for sure. And that'll put the 20 in the game. And that's where coal is going to hurt. Oh, interesting, they didn't buy too much extra oil. Just 1. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just do this, buy the minimum. Definitely going to build a 7 this turn, and I want to build to 8. I want to get that 20 in the market so I can fight for that plant. Yep. Now I wonder about this. The funny thing is, I'm actually set up to win the builds here because I have 5 cities in the back in brown. We both made a bunch of jumps on this. Here's the deal. My builds should be safe, so I think the play for me is to just build in the back here and then put the 20, hopefully put the 20 on the market, which should be about guaranteed at this point. There's only one plant that can keep the 20 off, and it's a plant I actually wouldn't mind seeing, the 18. Get that 20 in the game. 31 came in, and we'll actually go under the deck. 31 will. So Spara actually clicks on this. Oh my god, yes, please, please, please. Okay, I just have to hope 18 doesn't drop. There we go. 21 was the plan I really wanted here. And we will say bye-bye to the 6, finally. You did a lot of work again, as always. I personally think in 2-player games, I'd pay like $7 or $8 for this to open with the 6 plant. I mean, notice how long it stuck around and made me money. So this removes any incentive for my opponent to jump into brown now. So yeah, I'm going to force my opponent to panic over Cole. Cole's not going to stay cheap anymore, that's for sure. And now I think the play is actually for me not to move the market. Maybe? Or do I? I mean, I can't build to 11, so I think the play might actually be for me to just stay where I'm at here. And continue to attack Cole. Yeah, I think the play is for me not to build here. I will buy these resources just to leave some doubt in my opponent's mind, though. Keep them guessing as to what I'm going to do. Like, 21 is just a much, much, much better plant than the 20 in 2-player games. And again, especially the more expensive the builds are, the better the 21 becomes relative to the 20. Because early capacity is a lot less important on a map like this where you're spending so much money on builds. That's what I wanted to see. That is exactly what I wanted to see right there. So now, I can then no-build. Just power 7 cities this turn. It's not worth firing the 16 to power just 1 city. 28, 32, 33. So 33 will go into the deck. We all pass on this junk. 24 comes out now. 24 is actually going to be pretty good. So I think now could be the time for me to trigger step 2, because I'm going to win the builds, I think. Yeah, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Store the max coal and the maximum of the oil. Yes. Although there's no oil plants in the horizon here, so 12's not really going to be a lot of value for my opponent. It'll be a little value, though. Yeah, it's worth it for me to do this, I think. They have 1 oil stored, though. Maybe I don't need to hammer the oil so much. 12 will stick around. It could be a minor annoyance for me. Yeah. I just wanted to drop in the turn order so I could grab some cheaper coal. 17 out, 44 in. So 44 shall go under the deck this turn. 11 will be the next plant I replace for sure. That's why I stored extra on the 16. Ooh. We got a big one here. We got ourselves a big one. $42 and $25 are in. Step 3 card is actually next after this. Oh, by the way. So what's happening here is we do have all the 7 capacity plants in the game. Ooh. Ooh. What this actually tells me is I'd rather replace the 16 here. Yeah. No need to attack oil. Because it's going to be a little more efficient to run the 11 for another turn. Okay. $21 shall remain an oil plant now. Now that I have a dedicated coal plant to attack Sparrow's 20. So this is how the pace of this map often tends to work. Very happy with getting 25 at cost, though. I feel like I'm in a very strong position this game, because my opponent's just going to drown in coal here. So I shall build one more city. Ancona, Perugia, Roma is the cheapest route there, so I build Ancona now. I want to make sure to build my cities in the correct order to get the cheapest connections out of them. But yeah, now you see why I replaced the 16. Fossil fuels are going to get scarce here. We at least got the 22 drop out of the way, so it should be almost all big plants the rest of the way here. Now 11 definitely will be the next plants to get replaced, though. I got a lot of value out of that 11 there. A lot of value out of it. I think this will be the play for me. Because if I get this plant and not Sparrow, like, Sparrow should not be able to threaten an oil buyout on me. Yep, Sparrow can't threaten an oil buyout. And luckily Sparrow did not get a good drop here. 31 is awful for Sparrow. There's no good 6 for them. And Sparrow needs 2 more 6 plants to achieve 21 total capacity. 5-4, the 5-4, 4-5-6-6. But Sparrow's choices here are awful. They arguably should have bid on the 32. Yeah, there were a lot of good drops still in the deck, though. Well, not really. 46, 36, 40, like none of those are really great. And then the rest are like lower capacity plants. And yes, Sparrow buys the 35, which makes sense. Because they do need a little bit of efficiency there. Although this does put them in the position of needing a 7 capacity plant to reach 21. I really want Spara to go above me in the turn order this turn because that reduces their chances of getting a 7 capacity plant. And it also makes some of the choices for 7s not safe for them. Like 36 and even 46 may not be safe for Spara if they build above me this turn. So they do make the correct move. I agree with that decision of theirs, and I shan't build either. Like we have none of the really usual efficient 6 capacity plants in this game. We don't have 30, we don't have 39, we don't have 50. Okay. There's no reason for me to build at this point. I don't gain anything from it because I'm going to power 32, 25, and 13 to power my 12 cities. Let me think about this. Actually, wait. What's payments like? Payments. So with 25, 21, and 13, I power 10. It's 12. So I power 13 at the cost of an extra resource. So I do want the money. So I power 12 this way. Now, I won't be able to end the game this turn, but if my read is correct, Spara shouldn't be able to end the game either. Well, we need to put this up for bid. This is by far and away a ridiculous margin the best plant left in the market here. And Spara needs this to get to 21. Like, they're going to win the game over me if they get this for cheap. Like, this is just straight up a much more efficient plant to run than anything else left. So I will pay this much for it, because it's going to take me 2 turns to end the game here, I think. So I'll get 2 turns out of this plant. It'll make me a lot of money. Spara thinking now. God damn it, they get 36. Well, problem is, well, no. They can get 36. That works for them. So they still get to 21. The problem is, yeah. Okay. So they're gonna max buy trash for sure. That makes a lot of sense. No reason for me to buy extra trash because Sparrow should not buy any more trash the rest of the game. Well, I can at least build to 13 to make money out of the 38, 32, and... Well, no, actually, you can do this. So 13 versus... No, I don't want to build a 17. Or do I? Or do I want to build to 17? Let me think about this. Supply chart, how much oil comes back in the game? 4. So they can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 because everyone. So they actually would not even be able to buy me out on oil if they bought the 46, if that came in the next turn. So now they could. They actually could. They could do that. Livorno, that city up there is easy to forget. I think. Yeah. It's not worth it for me to power the 21 just for 2 cities, I think. 13 versus 15. You get diminishing returns at this point. 13 versus 15, you only make an extra $10, and it's going to cost more than an extra 10 for two more oil, so... Yeah. Unfortunately, Sparrow getting 36, like, that's going to turn out to be a sweet deal. 46 was the next plant that came, too. I mean, if I had build above Sparrow, they could have bought 46 and bought out oil on me. Can I even end the game this turn is the question. I have 6 cities left. Fortunately, there's some cheap ones in there, but also some expensive ones. Mostly cheap, though. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6. Wow, I can just barely end it. So I think Sparrow's going to end up winning this one over me. We'll see. But I do think so. I feel like I had... I don't know. Sparrow did well in early money, too, because I never bought coal plants. So coal stayed cheap for them with the 10 and the 15. Yep, that tells me they're going to end. Alright. The problem with me is buying 32 and then getting a 7 plant, not the most efficient route, because I have 1 extra capacity compared to what I need. That's going to be ultimately what wins it for Sparrow, I think. I really thought the 20 would get Sparrow killed. Interesting. Interesting. That's actually more... Wow, that's more than I expected them to win by. I guess it came down to the step 3 phase. It always seems to be in the end game where I've been blowing it recently. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think what this one came down to was the whole buying 32 was a mistake for me in retrospect, because I should have realized the game would last longer, that step 3 would last for 3 turns. Alright, we'll do another game. See if I can get some revenge here. Yeah, I think that was the key, was... buying the 32 was my big mistake. I think that's ultimately what cost me the game, was the 32. I should have just kept my plants with 11 and the 11-13 setup there. I should have kept that for another turn. I have a hard time reading the endgame flow and like judging when the game's going to end. I should have expected it to last for 3 turns though. Usually in 2-player, because the earlier part of the game is so slow, step 2 only lasts for 2 turns at most in other games, but then that expensive Italy map, I should have realized it would go longer and just passed on plants that turn when 32 was my best option. Alright, and now we have ourselves a game on France. This will be my last game before I have to go to work. I'll bid 6 for the 4 plant. I want my opponent to bid 7, because I think 4 can be an overrated plant in 2-player. It's still worth buying because you get that initial cheap coal, of course, but your turn order disadvantage for turn 2 is going to be quite tough, as well as building second in the opening. Okay. Spara does the right thing. I was testing them there. Alright. Well, unfortunately, I don't really want to pay 6 for it. 5 is usually the most I'd want to pay. I think Leon would be the safe single build here on this map with the 3. That's where I'd go. I would go Leon here. Central location gets you a bunch of cities either way. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is interesting now. I feel like Leon Claremont would actually be my build here, which would cost me 31. I can easily do that. And I think I will do that. I get the important connection up into Dijon, which is a route into Paris that can potentially be useful, as well as it gets you these cities up here. I mean, my opponent can still take a... They'll take Grenoble on the next turn. Andre the Giant's hometown is... it's good. Grenoble is going to be, obviously, the most important city for my opponent to take here. Keeps them with the connection to Chamonix, and then blocks my path into the Aqua region. I'd rather have the 5 plant when... yeah, in this situation. Hopefully Spara doesn't bid on it. They do, though. God damn it. This will be okay, actually, because I can buy the 8 now. And then next turn I'll just pass, my opponent gets the 10, and then we fight over the 11 on the turn after that. $17 and 21 were drawn. 21 actually goes under the deck, wow. Even in 2-player, that's pretty rare. Okay... Cool, just let me store all the coal. because I'm going to be stuck at the top of the turn order again on the next turn. Yep, the obvious build. And obviously, already having the 8, I'm not going to touch the 10, and especially not when I'm going to drop my opponent the 11 on France, with uranium sitting at $3 right now. 24 in, so yeah, we're getting through a lot of the bad plants right now, the bad early plants. 24 takes a while to get good in 2-player. And especially with 12 and 17 and 19 all next in the market, 11 is going to be a fight, let me tell you. So this means I have no need to buy extra resources this turn. I'm making coal a lot more painful for my opponent, though. So I have no need to buy any extra coal this turn. Guaranteed to go below on the next turn. 24 goes under the deck, though, which will help in moving the market a little bit. The nice thing is my opponent only has 10 cities available without jumping, and 2 of those cities actually require, well, no, just one. Just the one requires a little more expensive connection than normal. Saint Etienne to Grenoble. Yep. $24 out, $35 in. Finally, our first actual step 3 plant. Well, we have got to fight for this one, baby. I think this is worth over 20. I think this is worth over 20 myself. Stick to my guns. 12 and now 16 comes in. That's going to hurt the value a little bit, but still. Going to put some doubt in their mind as to whether I'm going to build next, but I'm not going to build. I'm not going to build because I want to keep bottom in the turn order, and I don't want to build high and have to run like the 8 and the 11. That's not a good, efficient way to power 4 cities, even as good as the 11 is. So the nice thing is next turn, we can fight for 16. Okay, I was expecting that. Sure. Sure. I might jump into Aqua next turn past Grenoble here. That'd be the most efficient way because that gets me into all the cheapest cities. I do need to protect Paris, though. Uh, 17, 19, 16, 25 was drawn. 35 will go under the deck. $35 out, 27 in. Well, gotta bid this up now. And 19 in. We're getting all the greatest hits right now. 19 and 23. I didn't even see 23 there. All right. Well, now I buy the 9 for sure because we need to punish oil. All right. This leaves me with 8. Fortunately. Ooh, 28. 28's set to go under the deck, too. I think I do the jump into these twins here. Just get to 4. 4 is kind of an awkward number for me. Oh no, hold on. I can do this. $15. Yeah, I can do this, because this actually gets me the most connections in the Aqua region. And I still maintain some stuff in blue. I think I'll do this. I risk giving my opponent Paris, but I get more territory this way. I want to really establish my connections into both the west and the east. I'm really like bisecting the Aqua region with this jump here, going through Nemes into one of the twins. And I'll run the 8 and the 11 now this turn. I do want to attack coal a little bit, as well as oil. So there's my build to counter. There's my jump to counter my opponent's jump into Dijon. An opponent just sticks with the cheap build, because I made them pay a decent chunk of change for a 16, and they didn't even store extra oil, which is nice. Because now they're going to stay above me in the turn order. Oh, and they can't get to 5. That's actually great news for me. That's really great news for me, because they can make good money with the 16 and the 10. Actually, no, wait, I can't buy oil next turn, though. 28 out, 26 in. Got a lot of bad plants to fight through, though. A lot of bad plants to fight through. $31 in. So I think I will want to store 2 uranium this turn, because I fully expect my opponent to... Actually, no, wait, hold on. We can build... I can build this turn. I can build shit off the market. I want to get Orleans. Take that away from my opponent. I can't quite build to 7, though. Yeah, these are expensive cities. I do think I'm in a position where I have to... I'm under pressure to build, though. Let me think here. 1, 2, 3. These are my cheapest ones. I can build to 7, and I want to build to 7 this turn. I want to move the market, try to get a 25 on there. Because I do think my opponent's starting to get an edge on me in the plants. All right. There is still a decent amount of stuff that could keep 25 off, though. But I think this is my play. I'm getting a surprising amount of U's out of the 8 here, I gotta say. Alright. 21. That leaves me with 11. I can't buy more oil. I'll actually be okay if my opponent gets Paris in that area, because I can go into Limoges and Chamonix, and with those plus the full Aqua region, then I'll still end up winning the builds on this. $14. Well, this is why I'm glad I stored that extra coal on the 8. Oh, they take Chamonix. Okay, good play. I probably should have... no, because I do need to store the extra coal, though. Well, now I'm going to need Limoges and Tours, is the problem. And I passed, they're going to buy the 23. They don't, which makes me very happy. Spara probably should have bought the 23 there. With uranium being so cheap, it's going to make money. Although I guess fossil fuels are cheap now, too. So they could run like 16, 10, and the 12 together. Okay, now 25 stays on for now. I'm just going to keep building, going to keep cutting off my opponent's builds. Since they're playing the turn order game, I think I kind of have to punish them by overbuilding and just hoping that the 25 stays on the market. Which it does! 46 out, 50 will be next to go under the deck since that was just drawn. Okay, so there are 4 plants that can come that can stop 26. But the problem is 25 might be a little better than 26. 21 is under the deck. And 16 is out there. Spara is getting a lot of U's out of the 16. I'll actually pay 35 for this. I have coal stored. Now I'll let it pass, though. It's not... 25 is probably isn't worth $10 more than 26. And I can build over the 9 here. Yeah. I'm never gonna want to run the 26 and the 9 together. I don't want to drive up oil. Okay, I think I made out fairly well in that auction. Having one extra oil will ease the pain of this a little bit here. That's a pretty dreamy plant for me to come right now, because this way I can burn my coal on the 8 and still build to 10 this turn. And the nice thing is my cities are so spread out that my opponent's not going to be able to reach all of the empty ones that I'm guarding here. Mm-hmm. $25. Yeah, just do that. Nice would be the thing I might want, actually. Yeah, I'll just do this. Oh, I see here. I see. Well, probably Limoges would be my best one now to build. Because I don't think my opponent could take both Perpignan and Nice on the next turn. Maybe they could, but I kind of doubt it, so. Alright, I need to start. I definitely need to start step 2, though, for sure. I've gotten a lot of value out of this 8, I have to say. Worked out well for me compared to the 5, I feel. Yeah, 29, duh. There's a decent chance that 33 comes up, believe it or not. So many of the low plants are gone now. There's some bad drops behind 29, though. I mean, I could just take 20. I mean, I do have 27 as a decent enough plan B. Yes! 18 drop, baby. That's what I wanted to see. Now I feel like I'm ahead in this game for sure, because Spara can't get a 4 plant. So 5-4 is a very good amount. It's a good capacity to have going into step 3 for your top 2 plants. And I'm really well built here to hopefully get one of these last empty spots here and win the builds. I forced my opponent to take the most expensive possible connection into Paris, like a more expensive one than mine, and then jump past me into Tours, just for one city, which is just mildly profitable for them, but not nearly as much as it could have been if they got in Limoges as well in step 1. This is why I wanted to move the market. I feel like my plants were a little worse than my opponent's before, but they're definitely better now. 29 is a huge get for me here. Opponent got a bit unlucky, though, because they could have gotten the 20, although I don't know if 20 would have been good for them in this game, since I do have some coal out there to attack them. 20, I don't know, would have been good. And then other than that, 15, 18, 22 would have been the only other bad drops that could have come. 30 could have dropped, which would have been amazing at this point. 32, which actually would not be that great. And then anything else would have put 33 up there. And 33 would have been amazing to get before step 3. God, 11 has been worth its weight in gold this game, for sure. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, I get Perpignan now, so I win the builds. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I figured my opponent wouldn't be able to get both of these remaining cities in the Aqua, so yay, I get one of them. That's cool by me. And 29, of course, will be exclusively a coal plant, since I also have the 26 here. I want to keep oil as cheap as possible. And we're staring at the same crap again in the next turn. And 38 is in. So we do have 2 of the 7 capacity plants in the game now. I think we're getting too close to step 3 for 27 to be useful for me. It won't have enough time to make money for me, I think. I hope Spara buys 27. Yes! That's what I was hoping to see. Since I figured step 3 would be next. Actually, I knew looking at this that step 3 would be next, so I think that's a mistake for them, and that's going to help win this game for me. If Spara had just passed, then the lowest number plant would have been taken out of the game, and then step 3 would have been drawn, which after that, the next lowest numbered plant would have gone out too. So we get 38 and 39 in the market. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be really interesting too, because those plants are not going to go for crazy prices since they're on the market at the same time. $34 is out there too. I'm actually going to store 2 uranium on this turn. And 1 extra coal. That way I'll have extra for on the 29 for the next turn. Spara doesn't have a reason to build, really, because they can just run 25, 27, and... Well, they can build 1. They can run 25, 27, and 16, and still stay power 11 cities, and still stay below me in the turn order, which is what they should do. Yep, correct play. And I have no reason to build either, so... The reason I'm stocking 2 uranium is because my opponent could very likely get a nuclear plant on the next turn. $42, which nobody's going to want. I think we have to go for 38, though, because we know 30 is not in the game. 38 is going to make a boatload of money. It powers more cities than the 39. And it gives me more flexibility for my final plant. It allows me to only have to buy a 5 capacity plant to reach the endgame level. And that's good because there's not a lot of good efficient 6 capacity plants. Really just 50. 40 is okay. Could potentially be risky, maybe. 50 is the only really good one. 46 is okay, but we don't really need 7s. Well, Spara needs a 7 a lot more than I do. So I'm going to keep bidding this for a little bit. I know for a fact that there's no other trash plants in the game other than 24, and 24 is useless now. I should calculate something out here. I don't think I can end the game this turn, but I might be able to come close-ish. Let me see. I have 10 cities left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, no, okay. But I should be able to end it on the next turn, though. The reason I'm bidding this so high is that Spara needs a 7. God damn it, they actually got the other 7. Only other 7 in the game. That might win it for them, as I think about it. And they didn't end up buying a nuclear plant after all, so boo. I wasted a buck that way. I'm okay with that, though, because it was going to take a lot for 39 not to be bought on that turn. God damn it. Although, Spara might actually end up making less money this way than they will with the... I don't need to buy any extra resources, actually. Yeah, so I can just give my attraction go. I expect Spara to build here, because they're guaranteed to go above me in the turn order next turn no matter what. And the game is going to end on the next turn. So I can build up to 15 and still stay even with them in the turn order. I'll just finish Aqua now. Leave my cheapest cities remaining to make math a little easier on the next turn. Okay. Might as well burn this uranium here. 9... 9 plus 5 is 14. And it'll actually make me money. Wait. 7 plus 2 plus 4, 13. So 13 versus 15. Do I make money? I don't think so. I don't think because powering 13 versus 15 is only an extra 10 bucks, and oil next turn is going to be actually 9 for me. I'll actually fire this. Silly as it may seem. Spara did get kind of the lucky drop with 46, though. The nice thing is, they're not fully stocked with extra resources on the 46, so I can hurt them a little bit here. 40. Oh no, of course 39. 39 makes the most sense for them, obviously. Yeah, I pass and take 34 here. That is my cheapest option for sure. And I end the game. I have to hope that my money from the 11 wins me this game. Have to hope. Alright. At least I take away the $4 oil from them, because they need to buy one more piece on the 46. 3 trash, 2 oil, 1 uranium. This is what we buy, and we end the game. Because we got 2 turns out of this, 38 still probably ended up making more money than 46. Yes! They couldn't even get to 21. All right, big win for me. Yep. That 11 plant money, that won it for me. Spara could barely afford 20 cities too, because I like how I did the builds. I ended up winning the builds pretty well. So yeah, that was a good couple games there. I'll upload this later and see you later.